Okay, good afternoon, everybody. And what is today's topic? It's the afternoon here in Southern California, and I had a friend of mine call me and say, "Hey, I'm going to go out to Air Gas, and I'm going to buy some stuff. What do you think about buying, welding gloves?" And I said, "Okay, well, We talked, for a while on the phone, and I jotted down some notes. If you go to Home Depot, you go to Lowe's, you go to Air Gas, you go to these places, a lot of them sell high quality, name brand welding gloves. And I'm going to talk about some that you can get inexpensively and some that are going to cost you more money, but of course the quality is much higher. In the picture here, they're wearing Lincoln gloves. I mean, both of them, and of course Lincoln welding jackets, and I'm sure all, Lincoln welding equipment. They had these at one time out at one of the big box stores. I don't know if they still do. One friend of mine told me he loves these gloves. I tried them on. The ones that are pictured over here on the right, the girl with the long blonde hair and no helmet on, these are great. I tried these on. I almost wish that I owned a pair of them, but I already have a few pair out in the garage. Again, some of these I got from a garage sale that I came across. I couldn't pass up the bargain. It's like, well, give me $5, you can have them. And they're slightly used or thereabouts, and I went ahead and I got them. So I don't need more than what I have. So my experience is with the ones over here on the right and, things that people tell me. But I've narrowed it down to, let's say, 3 or 4 here in the selection. Now, of course, again, Lincoln's a damn good brand. So let me change pictures and we'll talk about some others, including the new Vulcans. Hold on just a sec. Okay, now these gloves you can find on Amazon and a couple other places. They're called Angel Fire. And you can see the girl over here on the right. She has the welding jacket on made by Angel Fire and the gloves. This is a good product. Would I rate it as high as Lincoln? I don't know, maybe thereabouts. From what I read on the forums, people love these gloves. You have a lot more tactile or more dexterity when you put these on, and they're made out of a good thick, cowhide material. They're supposed to be really good. I don't own a pair. I put them up here. They're not that expensive. Check Amazon. But the thing is I have a pair that I bought out at Air Gas. They are a very thick, and I mean they're thick, cowhide material. You could pick up anything hot and it's not going to burn you. You'll feel the heat through them in a little bit, but they won't. And they're real thick so that when you go to grab something, you don't have that tactile feel. Like you could reach down and just pick up like a nut or a bolt and know by feeling that that's what it is. I mean, they're super thick. So it's a trade-off. I paid a decent amount in the $20 and whatever range. I was buying some other stuff, so I got a discount while I was out there. And the lady I work with, her husband, runs the Air Gas. So I got a fairly good price on them. I bought them. I don't regret it. They're real good, but I also own, a couple other pairs. I don't own this particular pair. I do have a pair of the Lincolns. I showed you in the previous picture. But there's lots and lots of great reviews on using these Angel Fire gloves. And like I said, they're very, very comfortable. You can weld for very long lengths of time, I'm told in these articles. So it's worth considering. Let me throw up another picture and let's move forward. Well, of course, you can't get by without saying something about Miller. Now, these are gloves. A friend of mine has a shop. He uses strictly Miller, period, on everything. He really supports Miller all the way around. And I was in there and I said, "Hey, can I try the gloves on?" They're great. They're made out of a nice thick material in through those fingers, all that's in blue. And, even as you come up around, the cowhide is super, super thick. Now, some of these are made out of goat skin. I wouldn't buy them. I would stay away from them. You can feel the heat more rapidly through them. I suppose they're good because they're more comfortable. Everybody talks about the comfort level in them, but these cowhide ones and the thickness of them to me is much better. Yes, you're going to feel the heat if you pick up something too hot, but I'm not running a forge and I don't have like where I'm picking up like metal that's red hot. But when you're welding, the metal's still hot, and as you're, jockeying things around and touching or whatever, you burn yourself eventually, okay, by thinking that that it's not hot when it is and you accidentally touched it, and you'll learn. Anyway, the point being, these are good gloves, but I want to move into something that I think is a much better bargain all the way around, especially if you get the discount coupon. So let me change the picture one more time. Okay, I kind of saved this for last. This is the new Vulcan brand that Harbor Freight's carrying. And again, we all talk about Harbor Freight and say a bunch of bad things, but I think Vulcan, Hercules, and these different companies now that are manufacturing for Harbor Freight, I think Harbor Freight's trying to step up their game here a little bit and not be looked upon always as Chinese junk. So I think their attempt to do that, of course, is with, a few new manufactured brands coming into their supply anyway, or however you want to term it. One thing happens to be these Vulcan gloves. I tried them on while I was out there. I used a coupon, even though I don't know if you were supposed to or not, but they let me. And I got them for quite a bit less than the $19. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to try them. I mean, they feel incredibly comfortable. Do they feel as thick as the other gloves that we mentioned, the Lincolns and all that? No, they don't. I do a lot of MIG welding, and what I did is I like the feel of these. When I put my hands in them, I was playing around, grabbing and touching and doing other things, and that dexterity or that tactile or whatever term you want to use for the moment is there. It's nice. I could feel things. I could pick them up. Like I said, it's probably not the same thickness, but they will protect your hands. Yes, you can feel the heat. If you're welding for any length of time, you can feel the heat. And one of the downside comments was, as somebody had said, well, if I'm welding for a long time, it eventually, like right around the thumb and the finger pads, it tends to almost want to melt that material. Well, I haven't had that problem, but I'm not maybe welding, like I said, in this production setting where you're welding for hours. I weld a while and I stop and I weld and I stop, and I haven't had that problem. The other thing was, as somebody mentioned, is, well, they're junk still because the stitching comes loose on them, and you can see like where the stitching end, and then that's where it starts to come loose. Well, you have two options. I could actually probably sew these and fix whatever it is if mine come loose, which they have not yet. So the pain, yeah, but it's easily fixable. Now, the other thing that I do, I'm going to throw up another picture. Let me show you something, and I'll show you how to curb this too. Okay, so what I do is, this is CA glue. You can buy it anywhere. The dollar store, Harbor Freight even sells it, so do the big boxes. This happens to be a picture here in the middle of Stick Fast. I buy mine off of Amazon when I buy some other things, and Stick Fast is real good for what I use it for, which is wood cracks and stuff like that. Anyway, that's another topic, but what I do is I put a couple of drops on a piece of wood. I touch it with like an ice pick or, something similar. I touch it into there, and I just dab it gently on those threads where it looks like it's starting to come loose or fray. Problem solved. This stuff will bond and make it lock tight. You still want to go overboard with it, but it does fix that problem. Should you have to do it? No. I read the criticisms. No, you shouldn't have to do it, but sometimes what you buy, you can make a little bit better, or you can fix whatever the little defect is. This is one way to do it. Okay, questions. Your question relates to the stitching itself. I don't know. I believe it's probably Kevlar, and they do some type of stitching with it, but you would have to read it more in depth. I'm just telling you how to fix them when it looks like they're coming apart or frayed. Not that hard to fix, and mine have not had that problem yet. Like I said, the 3 pair that I have, I'm not doing production work, so somebody else, using them, abusing them, might have problems at a lot faster rate of speed. The ones that I showed you, I believe, are all used cowhide, okay? I told you, like I said, stay away from the other stuff. Thick cowhide works great. I have a really thick pair. I also have a pair that's not as thick. And it's a lot easier, to grip and move your hands around and bend the fingers in and out and all kinds of stuff. And the ones that are a little bit thinner, but it depends on the project. If I'm really welding a lot of, kind of thick steel and I'm using a lot of heat, I use the thicker cowhide gloves. It just depends. I do enjoy the thinner ones, but you can feel the heat in them a lot easier than the thick cowhide ones, yes. Does Vulcan only make MIG gloves? I would use these here in the picture for oxyacetylene or MIG. Now, they also make a pair of TIG gloves. They'll be in white. I don't know that much about them, but no, they do make a different pair. And they come in different sizes, extra large, large, medium, small, I believe. But, you just put them on. The comfort's great on these things. It really is. I'm glad that I got them, and especially at the price that I did. Very comfortable. Answering your question, yes, Harbor Freight does sell the apron, the welding apron. It's not a very good one, but I can't comment on it. I don't own it, and I don't know anybody that does. They also have the split sleeves. I don't know about them. I have split sleeves. I got really thick cowhide ones from Air Gas. I got them at a good discount. So I don't know, but yes, they do have those additional accessories if you want them. I would encourage you to get sleeves. Try them on, see if you like them, and and give it a shot. If not, I got mine out of Air Gas. They're made out of a nice thick material, and they work wonderfully because you don't want to get splattered with, all this hot steel. It'll screw you up, okay? You'll get all these little red dots all over you. It burns and it hurts. I'm the Home Handyman. I hope you enjoyed the review here. I would give these Vulcan, 2 thumbs up, seriously, if you want a very comfortable pair of welding gloves, even a secondary one. But always look around for the thick ones too. But these are, I think, a damn good bargain, especially at the discount. And I hope you keep following me. And if you like the content, let me know. If you got any more ideas on something else you want to talk about, let me know. Thank you folks for watching. Don't forget to click subscribe. Thank you. Bye-bye.